Well. Hey, somebody tell me whether or not Red's ready for the next review. I don't know what's going on around here. Those damn spirits again. I swear to God, I can't get anything done around here. I knew I paid too little for this place.
Get out of the way! Alright.
What? What's that?
Get out of the way!
Or maybe it's not spirits. Well, it is a spirit. I don't believe this. It's not possible.
The people that reported me gone have, let's say, joined the world they said I had joined.
Huh. Is this Beauregard?
That's one of them. They're all kind of stacked up at the end.
Beauregard, you were not a positive thing for this family, so I'm kind of glad to see you go. But I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled, to see our good friend Angus Hornhelm.
Well,
Angus, I knew that there was something suspicious going on here. It's wonderful to see you. You're finally back.
Well, I have a few things to say. First of all, the last shipment of whiskey you sent me was 90% empty. I would expect at least 70% of it to only be empty. After all, we're family.
You have to talk to Red. He was the one who organized that side of it, and it wasn't me. I didn't even get any.
And I happen to see on the side of a few of the casts, should say, some unflattering pictures.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
But
you're back. You're back.
I am back. And I have taken care of the problem that was trying to take care of me temporarily. See, the devil's not the only thing or being with powers and magic. And I happen to talk to a couple. Let's just say I've talked to a couple of beings that know the devil really well. And I've got a surprise for him. But temporarily, we have a truce.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm just thrilled that you're back, and I mean, you've been on an epic journey. I mean, let's face it. Started off with, well, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but kicking a kobold and then being, well, what did you do to Cranky?
Well, let me elaborate.
I know that's not
happened.
Cranky.
Yeah, there'd be a little beard hair left if it was Cranky. Let's just say that's a clue. Well, first of all, the kobold just happened to be on my path home from the mines, right?
Well,
and
of course.
He just happened to be wearing invisible enchanted armor that allowed him to wound my foot with a cursed wound. It was no normal foot injury.
That makes sense, especially since you had to go into the horse pistol and had to be looked after by the Dwarven healers and so forth. But then Cranky transferred you to an elven hospital. I thought that was pretty cold.
That's all right. I transferred Cranky to a barber, but we'll get to that later.
A barber?
That's right.
That sounds very, very mean.
But in any case, I looked into this kobold thing. I called a few friends and called a few flavors in. And I got a few friends to look into the kobold. And that's how I found out he had demonic, invisible armor on him. And it was laid with a curse so that the wound, not only did it hurt me, but I barely found that kobold in time before he was killed by his own evilness, being used as a pawn by none other than the devil. He was the one behind all of it.
Well, that was becoming fairly evident. And as you may have seen, your obituary, which was obviously in error, and I apologize for that.
Never trust a computer. Well,
it's not a computer. You know, this is a channel, and we have a media advisory team. And they said the internet is truthful, and if it's on the internet, we have to report it as true. I think I'm going to fire them. Maybe you'd like to help me after this filming, get rid of my media advisory team.
I will help you fire them. I will help you.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Stubble, get the catapult ready. We'll fire them after we're done.
Sounds like a pretty good and fair plan in this particular case, because that was clearly bad advice. I couldn't believe that our own beard in the street could have met such a unhealthy end. And Beauregard, well, sorry, Beauregard, yeah, Beauregard, you and your family are done, okay? You and your backwoods friends have done a great disservice to one of the very finest of dwarves in the whole Hornhelm family. Angus.
Well, there ain't much left of his family right now, and
Good.
his castle, well, let's just say we hooked a truck up to it and pulled it away.
Oh, I bet that didn't take much effort.
No, not much at all.
No, made of sticks, I'm guessing. Probably stolen from elves, because that's the best they could do. Now, I do agree with stealing from elves, but still, dwarves don't build with sticks.
Right. So, but in any case, I digressed. The wound put me into the healer hut, and it took me quite a while to recover because the evil, cursing, venomous magic from the devil was trying to work its way through my veins. But he underestimated me. I'm not so easily gotten rid of.
As should be said for any dwarf. Well said, Angus.
And I made a couple of other contacts. I've got a few surprises set up for the devil. But I did manage to win his trust momentarily, and a truce that's signed for a bit in his blood. And I did that because I found out the devil lied about something else.
What was that?
Well, probably about several things.
Well, I was going to say, the devil kind of has a reputation on that side, justly earned.
Right, but he lied about something that was key in our interview. As you recall, I asked the devil what one of his most embarrassing losses in a battle was. and it was that he lost a fiddle to a strange little backwoods human.
It's probably related to Beauregard, but yeah, oh no, it was a human. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I did some
epic
research.
fail.
It turns out that if the devil loses a challenge, be it a bet or some sort of combat challenge, he cannot directly take revenge on said person, and a magic older even than himself.
Well,
So-
okay, okay, I understand.
So when he said he made that particular human die of some sort of a disease that affected his manhood, the devil was lying. Said human was still alive, and it took me a while to find him, especially when the devil was hot on my heels. But I found this human.
Okay, that's starting to make some sense. And what was he able to do for you then?
Well, after I persuaded him with my axe, I got the golden fiddle back. I now had in my possession the devil's golden fiddle.
Oh, I bet you he was really not too happy about that one.
Well, I use it as a bargaining chip.
Well, that makes some sense. This is how you were able to get him to sign off on a truce then, by providing him that fiddle.
Not only is he not allowed to touch any hairs on my beard or any of my fellow Hornhelm members now, he is not allowed to enter us into any of his fiendish contracts either. And
Wow.
he's agreed to come on our channel and do some reviews, some epic fails and stuff at no cost. I mean, if he could swindle a soul too, we can't deny him that. But we don't have to pay him nothing. No whiskey, no gold, no ale, no nothing.
Angus, I really like where you're going with this, but don't they call him the Prince of Lies? Do you think he's really gonna do this?
You'll be surprised.
I
I have brought in
guess
a
I am.
mediator that you are going to meet soon. I have two surprise guests. One that the devil will really be shocked about, and one that all of our people, all the dwarven kind, will be amazed is coming soon to help us in case things get out of hand.
Okay.
If they do, he will take care of the devil himself.
Well, this is sounding very intriguing indeed. I mean, I'm number one. I'm very, very excited to see you back with us again. That's number one. Number two, if you can catch the devil at a disadvantage, that's a really good thing. But I will be honest and say that I have some concerns because of the devil's reputation. I don't think it's the first time he would have agreed to something that he didn't really follow through with, if you catch my drift.
Well, let's just say that he hasn't lost many times, and that golden fiddle was quite the bargaining chip. In fact, I think that fiend almost cried when he saw it.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing who these people are or who these dwarves are, whatever they are, and seeing how the devil can be constrained that way. I think that's a very important lesson for us all to learn, because I've certainly been worried that he would continue to cause trouble for us as we went on. If half of what you say is true, it would be a big improvement. So I really like that part, and we'll have to try and do the utmost to make sure that the devil follows what he says he's going to do, right? I mean, really, what else can you do?
He was in the middle of more fiendish plans, not only against me, but against my kin, because he couldn't find or catch me, because I was protected by a symbol of concealment. That's why he was chasing me instead of just appearing on me. See, I did some research on this devil, and he was digging under our old castle and planting some sort of fire explosion that he wanted to get us all there for some show. Then he was going to disappear out of it with his magic ability to blow the entire castle up and kill all of us.
Oh, well, that's not acceptable at all, and I'm glad that you were able to foil that. That's very well done. Very well done indeed. So now that you're back, and I'm sure we're going to meet these people here in the not too distant future, are you going to rejoin us as our beard on the street?
Of course I am.
Oh, that's fantastic work.
I've been watching things, and certainly you could use some beard on the street influences here.
Well, I'm speechless.
There is a first for everything. We beat the devil at his own game, and this dwarf friend of mine is a bit speechless. But you will meet these people very soon. Let's just say one of them is a fiend. More powerful, more cunning, and has complete control over the devil himself. This will be a surprise even to the devil when I deliver this person.
So we have Darth Vader is on our side?
Darth Vader. He's a human puppet. This is going to be much more powerful.
Oh, okay. I like that idea. That's very good.
And the second one, let's just say, sometimes when you have an epic problem, you call it Epic Warrior. A legend! I can't say any more until he gets here.
Okay, we're looking for a legend. That's always a good thing. We'll have to see how this goes. I mean, this is all fascinating, and I'm really happy that we've got our beard on the street back, and that he's healthy and hale, and he's recovered from eating all the nuts and fruits when he was in the Elven Hospital, and he's doing much better. He probably won't, he's in good humor right now. He's probably not going to be that upset about the 4 different hiding places that we found while he was missing that contained much whiskey, and we drank it.
What?
I told you. It was in one of the videos. Yeah, well, Hey, the other 11, we didn't find those.
How do you know there were 11 other ones?
I plead the 5th.
I bet you drank the 5th.
Exactly. I want a 5th. That's not I plead the 5th.
Well, I can't blame you. You can't stop.
It was thirsty work looking for you. I thought it was, your kindness and generosity were greatly appreciated at that time.
Well, let's just say that the backwoods dwarfs that attempted to swindle me out of my fortune did have some money put aside that most of their family didn't even know about. And that money has bought several wagons of whiskey that are being delivered as we speak now into the cellars.
Awesome.
So we'll be able to drink at least for a day or two.
Well, yes, we could have a small, and I do mean small if it's only wagons worth.
Well, it's 12 wagons worth, so probably a good day or two.
A medium-sized party to celebrate your return. I like that. I'll even contribute at least a bottle of whiskey. Okay, 2.
I wonder if this bottle or 2 of whiskey will come from one of my reserves.
Well, that wasn't part of the discussion.
I see.
Well, whiskey is whiskey, right? It's good whiskey. No, I'll give you some of my finest personal reserve for this party. And no, it won't come from you.
All right, sounds good.
Because we drank all yours, so I don't have any to use anyways. So, okay.
I have something else I'd like to bring up.
Go right ahead.
Now, I've been observing things here for a little while, closer than you might think. I was in disguise. And I've noticed that there's a problem here that you've addressed and that you're doing well at taking care of, but I think you need a little bit of a help. Why are these spies everywhere?
Well, if you've been paying attention to what we're doing, we are trying to combat the spies, and we have our own combat device, which is these beautiful dwarf on the hearth. It comes with his axe of banishment that only works against elven creatures. And slowly but surely, we're going to root out the pointy-eared little bastards that are sitting on the shelves in people's houses that are filled with evil electronics and magic. And all they're doing is spying on the human children, perverting them, subverting them, changing them into something that's horrible. So I think we're taking the right steps, and it's all we can do because we don't control all the music and the videos and the toys. I mean, we do everything that we can, but the elves, unfortunately, have been at this for a long time, and they've got a leg up on us, so we're going to have to work very hard to change that.
I understand that. And I want to say to all those elves, snitches get stitches, just so you know. But there's something else that I don't know if you're aware of because you were here getting ready to run the channel.
What's that?
The boys recently apprehended another elf in this very castle.
Oh.
Trying to plant more of his little brethren on shelves and rafters, and they could be anywhere.
That's part of the problem. I won't argue that. Well, that sounds like we've got maybe a future interview coming, folks, with some kind of an evil elf. Well,
what other kind is there?
Exactly. All elves are evil. We know that, and we're very sorry that all you humans have been led down such a dark path by these pointy-eared little black-hearted bastards. But we'll get past it. We'll find a way, and we will overcome.
We'll replace the elves with these midget dwarfs that'll take care of everything.
Exactly.
It may take some time, and we're going to find out what we need to know to start this process from this very elf that my fellow dwarven brethren have in shackles and chains as we speak.
Absolutely. The dwarf on the hearth, you've heard it here before, is the solution. The problem is the elf on the shelf. So, get rid of the elf on the shelf, toss it where it belongs, in the fireplace, or run it over with your car or something. It should be destroyed. And put in that dwarf on the hearth, and you shall have a safe and secure house. This Dwarfmas is all there is to it.
And kids, let's just say a fellow like this isn't going to say anything if you happen to have a couple of swigs of whiskey. You know, we're not perfect.
Let's be careful what we recommend here, Angus. Okay.
All right, a bottle of whiskey.
That's okay. He's been in hiding for a long time, so we got to get him back on the straight and narrow.
I mean the dwarven children.
Well, dwarven children is different, but human children, no whiskey. Okay,
Human
stay away
children
from
can't
the whiskey.
drink whiskey.
No, they just fall over. So stay away from that. Well, what I'm going to say right now is Angus, we're very, very happy to have you back. We're going to move on, and we know now that we'll see some additional features with Angus here in the very near future. In the meantime, everybody take care of yourselves. If you like what you're seeing, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends, and come back and see us again real soon. In the meantime, dwarves rock.
you.